Are you?
Who wants to know?
I am Henry the Red, Duke of Shale, Lord of the Northlands and leader of its peoples.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
Ukraine has made significant gains, but we must not underestimate Russia. Russian missiles and drones continue to strike Ukrainian cities, civilians, and critical infrastructure. This is causing enormous human suffering as winter sets in.
NATO need to stop.
NATO foreign ministers made clear that our continued military support for Ukraine is essential. In particular, additional air defenses.
This is becoming a little bit too much.
Allies also announced additional contributions to NATO's comprehensive assistance package, providing Ukraine with non-lethal aid, including fuel and generators.
So they're getting fuel and generators.
This
and the rest of
morning,
Europe
allies addressed the long-term challenges
starve.
posed by China
Or paid for
to
by
our
the
interests,
Western
values,
alliance
and
companies
security,
and businesses
how we
and
must
countries.
continue to strengthen
We're all
our
going broke.
resilience.
And Ukraine
NATO
is going
is
to be
an
rebuilt.
alliance of Europe and North America, but the challenges we face are global, and we must address them together in NATO. We do not see China as an adversary. We will continue to engage with China when it is in our interests.
Well, when
Not
it's in
least
their
to
interest, what
convey
about the
our
risk that
united
China has
position
to the
on
rest of
Russia's
the
illegal
countries in the
war
world?
in Ukraine. So we remain clear-eyed. Today, ministers considered China's ambitious military developments, its technological advances,
Yes.
and its growing cyber and hybrid activities.
Yes.
The war
But
in Ukraine has
he said
demonstrated
there were no
our
risk.
dangerous dependency on Russian gas. This should also lead us to assess our dependencies on other authoritarian regimes, not least China, for our supply chains,
China's not a risk,
technology,
Russia is.
or infrastructure.
Okay, okay.
We will continue,
China
of
is a
course, to
CCP.
trade and engage economically
And
with
they want to get to
China.
the moon
But
and
we
conquer
have to
the
be
world.
aware of our dependencies,
Russia ain't going to do that.
reduce our vulnerabilities, and manage the risks. Foreign ministers stressed the importance of meeting NATO's resilience guidelines
Resilience
and
guidelines are a
maintaining
load of
our
rubbish.
technological edge. We must also continue to strengthen our cooperation with partners in the Indo-Pacific region, as well as with the European Union.
Which is us in
Ministers
Australia and New
also
Zealand and all
discussed
the Asian
terrorism,
countries.
the most direct asymmetric threat to our security. We saw that most recently with the horrific attack in Istanbul. Ministers agreed that we must continue our efforts to counter this threat. For our final session, the foreign ministers of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia and Moldova joined us. Three valued NATO partners which face Russian pressure.
Oh,
We discussed our shared security
can you see what the
concerns
main plot is
and
here?
ways to strengthen our cooperation.
Russia bad,
And allies
Russia bad.
agreed to step up our tailored support, including on
Their
capacity
tailored
building,
support,
reforms,
which means
and
it's
training
ruled
to
by
improve
them.
their security
Everyone
and defense
complies,
institutions.
they instruct.
In all our discussions yesterday and today, we were joined by Finland and Sweden.
Oh,
The ratification process for their NATO membership is now nearly complete.
wow.
Their accession will make them safer, our alliance stronger, and
They
the
won't be
Euro-Atlantic area more
They will
secure.
then be lockstep
It
with
is
NATO.
time to welcome them as full-fledged members of the alliance.
If you think of the
I
alliance that
want to
he's
close
talking about,
by
what happened with the
thanking
EU,
Romania for
every
the
country
excellent
basically
hosting
lost
of
their
this
sovereignty
meeting of NATO foreign
and had to
ministers.
take up the currency,
This
the
shows
euro,
once again Romania's
which meant
strong
that when a
commitment
country
to our
folded
alliance.
and their economy
And with that,
folded,
I'm ready to take your
they all
questions.
did. And they want to do that with NATO. So it's not just going to be financial and border-wise. It's going to be military-wise. You understand what I'm saying? It just means if you're all under NATO countries, if one country is in peril,
you and other
all
Western
the others will.
leaders keep saying that Ukraine is fighting for our values, it's defending our democracies, it's defending our borders. Hasn't Ukraine earned NATO membership? Hasn't it earned now more than vague promises of membership sometime over the horizon? Thank you.
The most immediate and urgent task is to ensure that Ukraine prevail as a sovereign, independent, democratic nation in Europe. And to do so, we need to mobilize as much as we can when it comes to military, economic, financial, humanitarian support to Ukraine. And that's exactly what we do. If Ukraine does not prevail as an independent sovereign state, then of course the membership issue is not at the table at all, because then we have no candidate member anymore in Ukraine. So whatever you think about when Ukraine can become a member, a precondition for that issue to be at the table at all is that Ukraine prevails, and we are helping Ukraine to do so
They don't want
as we
Ukraine to
speak.
prevail. They want Ukraine
Allies
destroyed, and they're going to blame it on Russia.
Throughout the meeting,
And they want
that they're
everyone in
ready
NATO
to
to
sustain
fight and
the
be
support with
enemies against
advanced
Russia. They
military
want all the Western countries, which are
equipment, with
putting all the money,
ammunition,
sending all this
with,
friggin' money to
fuel,
NATO
with all the other
and
stuff
to
that the
Ukraine.
Ukrainians need to defend themselves. And
hate
and that's
and blame
the urgent,
Russia.
that's the immediate, most important
This is just
task
petty.
For allies.
I don't know about you guys,
Then
but
we also
when I
have
was
to
in
understand that
primary
there is a
school,
lot
we used
between
to, the Cold War,
nothing and full
the
membership.
potential risk
Meaning
between
that
Russia,
we
China,
need to
and
develop closer
America.
and closer partnership, both political
pretty real.
partnership, but also practical partnership with Ukraine.
He's really
This will
lying now. Look
strengthen
at the
their
hands.
institutions. It will help them to move from Soviet-era equipment standards to modern NATO standards, equipment doctrines. This is good for Ukraine. It's good for us. It will increase interoperability, but it will also help Ukraine move closer to membership. So I think it's important now that we take it step
Putin
by
said
step.
that if
The most important and urgent
Ukraine
step is to
becomes
ensure
part of
that
NATO, he will take
Ukraine
that as a
prevails.
slap.
And that's exactly what we are doing.
So they are trying to aggravate Russia. They want this
radio
done.
and television of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, I'm going to leave it here. I'm getting too upset.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Yeah.